Mu kaseera kano nsaba munzikirize mpite omukulu okuva mu National Culture Forum ajje atuwe ebigambo gavumenti byetutegekedde, ate bw'anaavaawo tudda kuba tufuna mwami si mwami Haji Abe Mukiibi ajje ate naye tukole ekigenda mu.
Nga bwe mwawulidde amannya nze Charles Mutambuze. I am the Vice Chairman of the National Culture Forum, which is the umbrella body for all creatives. We are private sector led, and we try to unite the voices of artists so that they can speak in a unified way to government. Government has duty to ensure that our industry has everything that it requires in order for it to grow. And over the years, we have been lobbying government. Actually, recently, I saw the first time we appeared in a development plan of government was around 2014. Those days, they used to have what they called poverty eradication plan. In that plan, the only activity that was there was archiving traditional music. That was the only activity, and I don't know whether they delivered on that activity, that plan. Over the years, our industry, the culture and creative industry, has been the most underfunded. In terms of budget allocation, we've been getting 0.003%. Mwabasoma okubala mumanyi when you round off 0.003%, what percentage does it become? Zero. So tubadde tufuna zero buli mwaka, year after year, until 2020. You know, when COVID came, it was bad, but it was also a blessing. Because for the first time, because artists were hungry, artists wali tebalina sente nga baavuma enjala ebaluma nga COVID waali ne baddukira eggulu. So many conversations happened in Igulu. And one of the things that happened last year, our industry was included in the National Development Plan for all the 4th National Development Plan. We now have a full page. From just a sentence, a government, we shall archive traditional music, to so many things. One of the things in that plan is capitalization. Because we've been telling government that this sector, people need to access capital, affordable capital, so that they can work miracles. Many of you, your sources of capital have been, you get from family resources and invest in your art. You borrow from a money lender. Some of you go to banks and so on. We explain to government that it's very difficult for artists to get money from banks. And Mariam this morning was telling me about her experience of trying to get money from a bank. And moreover, she had the collateral. Most of you don't have collateral, traditional collateral that the banks accept. You know, land titles, car loan books, and so on and so forth. The interest rate is so high. I think the current interest rate is between 22% to something like 30%. If you borrowed money at the interest rate of 30%, surely. Now that you're talking about theatre renaissance, before the renaissance happens, will you be able to pay back? It's difficult. So, that NDP4, the plan, has several activities, interventions that the government wants to undertake. One of them is capitalization of the creative industry. The other one is skilling There are others, infrastructure and so on. But I was invited to speak to you about capital. You heard when the Minister of Finance was reading the budget, he said that money has come. And I want to confirm that money for the creative sector has come. In that budget, government provided a total of 28 billion specifically for the creative industry. That money is broken down as follows. 5 billion is going to be given to musicians. They are circles. And that is the money most of you have been talking about. That no, it is 28 billion, but only 5 is going to the musicians' circles. 5 billion is going to copyright, because you people are creating copyright products, so you deserve better protections and deserve better ways of getting paid from your creative works. So far I've accounted for 10 billion. Kati wasigaddewo bilioni meka? 18. Kakati bilioni 18 zigenda ku fundinga circles. Government yasazeewo nti sente zino ziyite mu zi circles. Zigenda fundinga circles eza domains ng'ogyeko, the other domains ng'ogyeko ki music. So sente ezo bilioni 18 zigenda mu circles ez'aba performing arts, ndozo omwe mugwa theatre. So namwe kwe muli ku bilioni 18 zigenda kufundinga ab'ebitabo, zigenda kufundinga aba film. Wow, God from the singles. It is a beginning. It's a beginning. N'abalala about 9 domains. Ng'ogyeko ki music. Kakati etegeka government egamba nti mu sector yammwe bwe muba nga mulina saako ekola obulungi, bajja kubayita muweeyo ebiwandiiko bya saako eyo bavetinge, bajja kubitwala ere mu Ministry of Trade, batunule sente zammwe zenkana wa capital base gye mulina, batunulire loan portfolio, bantu bameka ababeewozeeko sente babadde bazizza obanga bazirya. Batunulire savings, bwanga saako ebeerawo lwaki lwa savings. Batunulire assets ze mulina, then olwo bateekemu ki sente. And it's a lot of money. It is seed money. It is a grant that is going to be extended to your circles. And the government esuubira nti ojja kuzikomyawo. No, it is a revolving fund. Actually, baziyite program bagiyita Creative Uganda Revolving Fund. Objective ya fund eri to provide affordable financing for creatives in Uganda. The other thing is, if in case you fail to have a circle within the performing arts that qualifies, government has said they will identify circles that are not necessarily in the creative industry and put your money there. You can borrow this money as an individual artist. You can also borrow it as a company or an association, provided you are registered. And the money, so the circles where the money is going to be put, because not all the monies, by the way, are as organized as you are. Some of them are still struggling and they might not have a circle. So that money will be put in those other circles. These circles are located in here in central Uganda. There will be 2 circles. In western, 1 circle. In northern, 1 circle. And in the eastern, 1 circle. These circles are very well developed they have branches in the different districts that they will cover where artists can go and borrow money, either as individuals or as companies. The money, the range, how much can you borrow? It will be, for individuals, it will be between 500,000 to 10 million. So, oyagala makeup kit, you can go and borrow. Oyagala camera, you can go and borrow. Whatever your need might be, you can go and borrow from the circle. For companies, it will be between 500,000 to 30 million. However, an issue was raised that suppose a company wants more than 50 million or 30 million, suppose they want 100 million or whatever. So an exception has been made for high impact projects. High impact means that you demonstrate that you're going to create more jobs, you're going to generate more money, you're going to achieve so much, so that the circle now can make that exception and extend a bigger loan, maybe of 300 million or whatever amount. The interest rate is 5%. It is the cheapest so far. Somebody told us recently that for some of the programs of government, the interest rate is 6%. So it's up to you, and I beg all of you to go and borrow this money and finish it. Although Musingu is saying that 18 billion is small, this overall kulemberayo nga temugeze kola ki kuzinona mukolenga abakyala bwe bakola baba basente za gro ne bagenda ne bazeewola zonna ne ziggwayo. Other women who came later, they would go to the bank, any of the banks that were participating in that program, ne basaba ne bagamba sente zaweddeyo. So namwe basaba mujja genda mu circles zino, information egenda kufuluma which circles and where to find them. Mugende mwewole sente zikole ki zigweyo, naye teweewola ate noddazaayo because it is a revolving fund. Bw'okozesa ng'omaze okukozesa ng'ozzaayo with the percentage of 5%. They will allow you to use traditional collateral, enyumba, mataka, and so on, but they will also allow you to use copyright as collateral. Okozesa copyright nga collateral, ogenda mu URSP, no one is copyright you in a particular work, so they register it. A certificate you to allow Musako. They will also allow you to use your royalties. Mwabalina agreements is loyalties either from TV programs or whatever. You can stake that agreement as collateral. They will also allow you. Abamukumwe, when we talk about brand ambassadors, if you're a brand ambassador, put up your hand. Was it that a brand ambassador? Eh? But anyway, if you're a brand ambassador for Sandvik, MTN, Movit, any of the brands here in Uganda, you can take that agreement as collateral, and still the circles will respect and give you the money. Waliwo abamukumwe bwe mufuna emirimu babawa LPOs. You can take that LPO and access money from the circle. So government has tried to make it easy for you to access this money. There will be training as part of the package. Bajja kuba training kubanga tebagala otwale million 10 ate olemererwe business you because maybe you don't have skills or something like that. So that training, there will be training so that you can be able to know how to use the money. So training is covering financial literacy. Baga mambo abamukumwe mufuna sente mugamba zirimo omuzimu. Kubanga somehow obufunyeza kugula kamera ate nokola embaga nokola kirala. So omuzimu bajja kukwata through training. Oberenga musobola okoza sente, the purpose for which you have borrowed the money. So, I think I've said most of what is there to be said about this fund. More information is going to be given. For me, I am very, very excited about this whole thing. Nti muzei yawulira request yaba artists nti this industry deserves some money for capitalizing the sector. Twamusuubiza nti when they give us capital, affordable capital, tugenda kola miracles. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ball is now in your court to work the miracles. Use the money and change your industry. I thank you very much.
Engalo tuzimwongere n'amuyatanguze tubuzeeyo ebibuuzo bibiri abiddemu. Hadia, tambuza microphone. Ebibuuzo bibiri bwebiri bwe biba tebiriwo tugende ewaddako tutegedde nnyo mukube mu ngalo. Very much.